Welcome, Bronies, to the FOB Equestria Podcast, the official podcast of FOB Equestria. Spangle here, bringing you the weekly podcast, or at least we hope it remains weekly, as long as jobs permit. This week
His
I do
name
have
is Spangle, and he's faking enthusiasm.
I am not faking enthusiasm.
Why?
I am made of enthusiasm. If you could not tell, we have Firebrand once again with us. Michelle joining us for the first time in a long while. Navy Brony is again with us, and so is Silvermane. So
hello.
It's going to be good times.
Between the introduction and you giving your name.
Did you? Are you giving me flack there, Navy Brony? Or are you genuinely impressed? Are you
More flack than an 88?
Oh! German World War II references.
Myself.
Yeah. And someone has to, right? Haha. Anyway, so I guess first things first, we'll talk about some news going on in the FOB, although there isn't all too much. I suppose we'll tease a little bit.
Dusk's done. Oh
No,
God.
not yet. No, that's not FOB news.
It must be done.
No, it will be. It will be done. But that's a little bit later. Just a little bit. They don't have to wait for too long. But we will tease at the next Military Bronies React is in progress. I think we mentioned that last time.
I'm working on it. Stop pressuring me.
Firebrand is hard at work. He's doing the best he can with what he's got. I'm about to throw my hat in the ring because I initially didn't put any contribution towards it. More or less because I didn't think I had anything to contribute. But, you know, if he's hard pressed for material, I'm going to help him out. I think everyone did. Has anyone else here given him material? Oh, wait, Michelle, you were talking about.
It's the fiery Joker. When has he ever put effort into anything? I mean,
Excuse me?
I think 50,000 YouTubers would disagree.
unscripted. Oh, I could talk on camera for like 20 minutes.
Okay. I
I
kind
don't go
of.
for 20 minutes. I barely go past 15.
Oh, damn.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I get where. Okay. I do own my own part. I do own my own small-time YouTube channel, and I get where Josh is coming from. It's easier.
You can't argue with 7 subscribers.
Are you referring to your YouTube channel?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
It took me years to get where I am, so...
Yeah, I've been doing mine for about a year. I've got like 300 something. So, I don't know. Can't complain too much. But it is easier to just do things unscripted on a first pass. It really is. But
Now that I have successfully derailed the podcast,
yes, you have.
commence with your original topic.
Okay, so another thing is we are still working on merch progress, but no new major updates so far. We have things in the works, but nothing has been set in stone yet, so we'll keep you apprised on that. Now, there is also, some of you may have noticed, we did make a Cure for Kiki post on our website. If you have not seen that, please go check it out. Again, that is the charity chat for this week because, you know, I'm trying to at least talk about one charity event each week. Whichever one is most on the forefront, you know, the most ready to be out there and get going. Now, Cure for Kiki's, that has been going on for a long time, but the album does need a Kickstarter. That's what the post is about. Go check it out if you want to help out. That said, if you have a charity you want us to promote, just send it to us via our email, and we will certainly do that. But moving forward, yeah, I guess now we talk about Dusk's Dawn, because some of you wanted us to talk about this.
Michelle's favorite episode of all of them.
Michelle's favorite fan-made episode of all time.
Oh my god!
Oh my god. Okay, can I put out the quick disclaimer that we are not on the lookout. It is not our mission to go out and bash other bronies material. We appreciate the artistic effort people put into their stuff, but with that said, let us continue. Michelle, you have the floor.
Here is my disclaimer. Everything I'm about to overreact about is completely overreacting. It's bad, but it's probably not this bad. Okay, disclaimer over. Holy shit, name his characters, the music was freaking awful. It went on for like 4 minutes. Oh my, the freaking nurse. It's like, they didn't even try. It's, the voices, the color schemes, the animation. Oh my god, the voices. Oh, and did I mention, stop right there, criminal scum. I mean, come on, how can you get any more of a blatant rip-off of Oblivion? And lightsaber effects, I mean, oh my god.
I'm too evil to freeze or something like that?
Oh, there was some great lines in there. Like I said, ponies are flying everywhere is my favorite. I got to get that on a shirt.
The writing... Honestly, okay. My biggest gripe is... Yes, the animation was not quite there, and the same can be said for, like, the sound, but I can get over that. I can get over, choppy animation. I can get over, a bit of lower quality sound, but what I cannot get over is poor writing.
Yes.
That is
Exactly.
the bane of my existence, especially given the fact that, I've read so many good fan fictions that... Honestly, I cannot stand bad writing. That is my biggest peeve when it comes to anything Brony created that involves any sort of dialogue.
Like I can understand, like me from a writing perspective, I can't write for shit. I cannot write. So if there's bad writing, I can kind of understand that because I can't do much better.
Well, that's when you recruit a good writer.
Kind of mean is when I look at the art and I just see like blatant laziness. Like, for example, my biggest pet peeve is in animation when I see the glares on their eyes be like freaking polygons. They are circles, not polygons. Why am I looking at polygons?
I did notice that.
It's easier to make a circle than it is to make a polygon. You click and drag instead of click, 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 click. Oh!
Clearly, each of us has our own little thing.
Oh, my little thing is the characters and how big of idiots they are!
So dumb! The wind! I think it's magical. Can you tell? Yes, it's magic. I think it's coming from the forest. I'm going. Stay safe. Ah!
It's like
It's
the
all about
characters
the
are
writing.
idiots, and it's like they walk up to this and it's like they walk up to this like big giant pink cloud. And it's like I think this is dangerous. Yeah!
He's like, if it's a cloud, why can't you get it away? And he's like, oh, if it wasn't magic, I would have cleared it in 30 seconds flat.
Shoot me.
Oh,
Shoot me.
Rainbow Dash pun failure.
It
Then we
is.
have the,
Yeah, but the thing I'm actually mortally offended by in this episode is the Royal Guard character. He
Yes.
mortally offends me.
You want to know what really annoyed me about him was his monologue. That one section where he was just talking to himself, I was just like, really?
It's like I was reminded of
And then,
nostalgia. The thing is, I was reminded of Nostalgia Critic, and when he reviewed Batman and Robin, it's like, there's pretty much something in here that sums up all of Robin's dialogue. It's this. All he does is whine.
But the worst freaking part is somehow the writers tried to make a joke about how bad it was. Like, oh, I wonder how long this hallway is. It's like, well, you've been talking for like 5 minutes.
Clearly,
Yeah, and
it's
what also
long.
mortally offends me about that character is his sheer lack of professionalism. It's like right when we met this character, he had his armor and his helmet on, right?
Yes.
Okay. One scene later, it's gone. Okay. One,
Except for the shoes.
Why is it gone? 2, why did you lose it? 3, why was he not punished for losing issued gear?
Oh,
And
man.
4, and 4, why was he going on a patrol without full gear?
No.
Lazy.
Here's my personal favorite part. He's going on for like a good minute about how he missed adventuring with some random strangers that he just met for about 30 seconds and went on some kind of like not even written freaking story that you can't even follow. And he's like, oh man, this is so boring. I wish I was with these guys. That was so exciting. You knew them for 30 seconds.
Yeah, there's also the issue of many of the characters we were, like, never really given names for.
Yes, nameless characters, the first thing I mentioned.
Like, they
Oh, yeah,
basically...
it's like that pony we met at the beginning. I don't know his name. I don't care to know his name. I'm just going to call the Blue Pegasus Tommy Wiseau pony.
They mentioned his name one time. and I don't remember it, nor did I care.
Well, yeah, because, well, first of all, they just had a hard time making the characters any sort of relatable, and they made it seem like we were supposed to know who they were without giving us any sort of proper introductions. I mean, you look at a proper way to introduce characters, My Little Pony actually does it really well, in my opinion.
Well, yeah, that's obviously...
And so it's like this, honestly, okay. I think someone made the comment that I might have seen this in either the video's comments or someone made the comment in the Skype chat, but someone said, listen to, like, as soon as they heard the blue Pegasus speak, they said nope, and they stopped watching.
Yeah, like,
Wait.
it's so...
Just look at the description. What is PA time?
What?
Is that
No idea.
supposed to be Pacific, or is that like Pennsylvania time?
Pennsylvania's
What?
Eastern.
Pennsylvania is Eastern. This is a fact. No, I don't
Like-
know.
But it seems like what they tried to do is create characters that you could really get into and understand and relate to. But between the utter lack of a coherent storyline, just generally awful, with very, very few exceptions, very, very bad.
Were
voice
those
acting.
characters everybody's OCs that was making that show?
I don't know.
But, I wouldn't...
I think they were.
I wouldn't be surprised because honestly, some of them had some pretty bad color schemes. I mean, like a dark green, deep red.
Oh, gosh.
And like it's like an aqua greenish color and
Michelle, you and your color schemes.
I'm
We had a discussion
sorry,
on that, it was
but I
you.
nitpick at things like...
No, it's
You're
okay.
a writer.
You're an artist. You're an artist. I'm a writer.
Yes. There was one quote in Dusk Dawn that actually made me want to pick up my TV and throw it against the wall.
Firebrand, freeze.
Freeze!
Stop right there,
I'm too
criminal
evil
dog.
for that.
Yeah.
I think my IQ just dropped 5 points.
Yeah, honestly, it was actually physically painful for me to force myself to watch this through its entire thing. Honestly.
Yeah.
I
didn't
make it past... The first time around, I actually quit at 12 minutes, but I had forced myself to watch this just so I could give an accurate review during this podcast. That is the only
Yeah, it's
reason.
like this was pretty much my thought process when I started watching. It's
did
like,
this
okay,
for you
this isn't so
guys.
bad. It's like when it started out, I'm like, oh, this isn't so bad, and animation's not spectacular, but it might be okay. And then the blue Pegasus, and then Tommy Wiseau Pony speaks, and I'm like, oh, this is gonna hurt, isn't it?
And it just gets worse and worse.
The voice acting too.
Everyone kept telling me it got worse, and I didn't believe them.
and then it got worse. And you were like, wow, they were right. But there's no way it can possibly get worse. 5 minutes later, it got worse.
Oh yeah, and you're like, oh my god, the song is so bad. Like, how I can't believe this is like the worst thing I've ever seen. I'm like, wait until the song is over. Just wait.
Yeah, the
But,
voice
like,
acting
in
could have
all
used work
honesty-
too.
In all honesty, I think the animation itself, not the character design and the fact that they look like they were literally trace vectored from the Pony Maker, that aside, I actually think the animation was one of the strongest points. And I think with a little bit of practice and a little bit of guidance, that they really could achieve some great things.
So clearly there is room for improvement, and what you're saying is they have potential, but they really need to.
They have a lot of potential. It's just that I think the character designs themselves is what really hurt their animation.
Right, and honestly, they could have used with a better writer, probably some better voice acting talent. Clearly,
voice
some of them.
acting.
Not probably. I think the voice acting. No, I'm sorry. I'm going to say the writing was the worst part. Voice acting was a close second on the worst.
So clearly they should have reached out for some more talent.
Yes. And considering this my formal offer to them to voice a character, whoop whoop whoop. I
Yeah,
didn't hear that.
I can just tell that probably the characters were voiced by like a small group of friends.
Yeah, either that I think either that or people that were working on it for other reasons, like somebody that was like writing it, or some of the animators were trying to do it.
Right, and part of me can understand that. You know, you've got a small group of people who want this to be their project, and they want to have a part in it, and I can understand that desire to contribute and make something your own. But at the same time, you have to recognize your own limitations.
Right.
So a small group of people got together and read that script and thought it was a good script. I mean, I can't see more than one person
I'm gonna have to say there's a stigma in the fandom that we're too nice.
I'm inclined to agree. Honestly, a lot of the times I do think bronies have a hard time being brutally honest and necessarily honest. You know, if something is bad, you need to say it's bad. You know, don't sugarcoat things when honest feedback is what's really needed.
Yeah, like, honestly, I do this for entertainment. I'm very open for having critical, or not critical, but productive criticisms.
Right.
So that's why I even gave that little disclaimer at the beginning. But if you actually look, they made a follow-up video called Interlude Productions' Next Project Announcement, and they actually explained that they had taken a lot of the feedback and the criticism from the fandom, and they're actually incorporating it in their next project to try to make it better and improve upon all the deficiencies that they admitted they had. So I think their next project has a lot of potential, mainly because they're acknowledging their faults.
Well, that's
So
good.
I'm really looking forward to that.
Yeah, and that is one thing I will say, is if you're going to criticize someone for something, at least be productive about it, you know, constructive about it. Give them something to improve on.
There we go.
Give them something to base their improvement off of so that they can come back to it and make something better. Just don't say this sucks. Say this sucks because this, and this. And here's how you might want to improve it. So there is that. Now, I would say you're probably right. I think there is definitely the potential for their next project to be better. At least I would hope so. And when they come out with it,
given the rousing success of Double Rainboom, I'm not getting my hopes up.
Yeah, Double Rainboom.
I don't think Double Rainboom was that bad.
It wasn't all that bad.
Like, I don't think it was amazing. I think it was decent. Looking for it for what it was, because I wasn't here for the last podcast, so now everyone gets to hear me flap my gums about my opinion on Double Rainboom.
Do it.
I thought the animation was in some ways actually better than the show. Some ways. I thought the animation was more fluid than the show, but due to the production time of Double Rainboom and the production time for the average episode of MLP, I think it's kind of necessary. I think it's justifiable. This, 9 months compared to like 2. But what my problem again is, guess what? Artistically, they suffered. I saw more of this issue in Double Rainbow than I did in Dusk Dawn. If you look at the characters, especially in the close-ups, you can see so many squares. They didn't bother to freaking use the anchors points at all on the freaking characters. For those who know anything about vectoring, you place down your anchors and you use Bezier curves. Well, apparently they didn't care at all about Bezier curves. Pretty much said,
or they were just too inexperienced.
They're just but it's like what they did is they didn't round out the edges. They just made a lot of really closely put together straight lines, so that at a distance, because vectors are infinitely scalable, at a distance it looks round, but it's very, very noticeable at the close-ups, especially, like I said, this Dusk Dawn had suffered from the same issue, in that if you look at their eyes, if you look at the glares in their eyes, they look like polygons and not like
I noticed
circles.
that, definitely.
It's a lot worse in Double Rainboom, and you can see it a lot in their noses as well.
Huh. I actually did not pay that close of attention to Double Rainboom, and honestly, for, like I said, the biggest issue with me with Double Rainboom was the writing and the characters.
I thought the writing was decent.
Well, it wasn't.
Again,
it wasn't Dusk Dawn bad.
It's far better than anything I could do. So I actually thought it was kind of nice. Like, I know they touted it off as like a legitimate episode. I don't think it was meant to be as much of an episode as it was to be in a tribute to the fan base.
And it was somebody's college school project.
Right. So like he was doing it for fun. So I see that point. But again, like due to that, I have kind of OCD-like tendencies, and I'm really critical. I had a lot of little quirks about the animation, like the Powerpuff Girls. Their outline in the show is supposed to be black. It was like a dark red in this, which really, really got to me after a little bit.
It threw me off for a bit, but honestly, I got used to it, and I don't know if this is a compliment or a criticism, but one of my favorite parts of Double Rainboom was actually the Powerpuff Girls thing, the part of the episode, simply because I think they captured the Powerpuff Girls really well. Because I used to be a big fan of that show back when I was like in middle and high school.
I'm gonna have to disagree.
I'm
really?
gonna say no.
Well,
here's the thing. It's
been many years since I've seen the show, so it's possible my memory is failing me.
They beat the crap out of that freaking monster when they never would have done that in the show. He
Okay,
gave up.
there is
he was
that.
like, I quit, I give up, and they're like, nope, gonna beat the crap out of you. Really?
There is that one part.
And also the Powerpuff Girls, since they're obviously sociopathic brats, decide they want to keep Rainbow Dash against her will.
Well, no, I understand that part.
It's just like My Little Dashie.
Oh.
I know how much Josh hates My Little Dashie. I actually kind of liked it. I mean, if you look at when it came out at such an early, vulnerable part of the fan base that I think it was very relatable to most people. And considering the complete lack of numbers of quality fanfics, and that one just popped out and it came in and everyone's like, wow, this actually hit me on an emotional level, and people related to it. So it had a bigger impact. That's where I think most of it comes from. Not because it's amazing, it's just that it came out at the right time.
I think that's a fair point. I was wondering if Firebrand had anything to add to that. Or
not really. I
love
that
you,
episode.
Firebrand.
I hate a lot of things about that episode, and I'm going to stick to that.
Okay.
I mean, it wasn't great, but
Agreed. But at the same time, it wasn't horrible.
Critical unless it's deserved.
Right. I'll say this much. I did not enjoy Double Rainboom as much as I enjoy an actual real episode of My Little Pony. But I didn't hate it as much as I hated Dusk's Dawn. So take that for what you will.
The only big complaint I had about Double Rainbow was every time one of the ponies did something or looked at something or moved, they had to put a sound effect in it. And that really gets annoying after a while. A plink or a squeak or something.
I actually kind of I really enjoyed the sound effects for Double Rainbow. I thought the sound design and the music overall was the strongest point of
The sound and music was great, but like I said, you don't have to make a sound effect every time, like Rainbow Dash looks up or takes a step or picks something up.
I liked it. I thought it was immersive.
Agree to disagree.
Yeah, no, like, obviously we're going to disagree on a few of these points, but I enjoyed that part. I think
but I didn't expect it to be a fan, I didn't expect it to be a Hasbro or a Hub level programming, but I really wasn't all that disappointed. I mean, there was a few plot holes that they never explained, like the troll face when she opened the test tube up.
Yeah, there was that.
But other than that, I mean, why did she actually go to Townsville? It was for a first effort, and it was farmed out among like 200 people. It wasn't that bad. I don't know if you ever saw the puppet tutorials he put on YouTube, but he farmed all that animation out. He just did the animatics and the puppets.
I was aware of that.
But another thing is people are like, oh, if, it took, what was it, 9 months or a year to make it, and it had 200 people working on it, but if you had looked at their recruitment advertisements, they're like, it doesn't matter how small you can help out. If you can help out and animate one object, you'll be a great help. And that's what some people did. They came on and just animated like a few frames of
Right.
few objects. It's not like, had 200 people working freaking day and night animating like all this stuff.
Yeah, he'd give you a piece of it.
Yeah, exactly. So I think that point some people try to make is a little bit moot.
Right. I think that's I think you make a good argument, Miche. The fact is
Thank
that
you.
this wasn't a 200, round the clock crew like an actual studio. This was, 200 people, some of
Doing it
which,
in their spare time, right?
some of whom just added a very small amount, but still contributed in some way. And if each of these people were working on it like in a full effort, then yeah, I can understand how that argument that people are bringing up would be valid. But as it stands, I think you have made a very effective counter argument. So,
Thank you, sir.
but
I love you, Spangle.
I love you too, Miche, like a brother. Anyway, I'm just.
I didn't say that.
I know you didn't say that, but I'm saying that. But anyway, so I'll just say this much. I'm looking forward to Children of the Night whenever it
me
manages to.
Oh, me too.
All of us are. That's.
I hope it doesn't.
Because
I mean, they got that-
because they've already showed us the writing of that one, and
Oh yeah.
there's no possible way it's gonna be bad. The
Don't jinx
writing's
it.
There's really no possible way it's going to be bad.
You are going to jinx it.
It's
so
going to be
hard.
horrible now
If this
because
is
of you.
bad,
I blame you.
Pessimists.
You
All of you are
exclusively, my
pessimists.
friend.
Not me.
No, I'm
I will-
optimistic about it.
I will freaking post a YouTube video on my account for the first time in forever just to criticize the Fiery Joker for making this bad.
So maybe.
And it's like, okay, we've seen the previews of the animation. We've seen the animatic, all right? We've seen what the thing is that it's being based on, and the music itself is good, okay? There is
yes.
no possible way they're going to screw this up.
What could possibly go wrong?
The only way they could screw this up is if they tried to screw it up.
Okay,
Dusk Dawn!
honestly, I do think there is a lot of promise here, and I am inclined to agree with Firebrand here.
Oh no, I am too. I just like to be devil's advocate / troll.
Slash troll.
Celestia.
I blame Terra for that, honestly.
Like the vial in Double Rainboom.
Oh, yeah. So, I guess moving on to that, we'll give a brief shout out to Navy Brony, aka Navron, who is here with us. And he recently released a new song. You want to talk about that a little, maybe?
If it's
I've heard
dubstep,
this.
I'm not listening.
It's amazing step.
Kind of. I don't look at dubstep like most people do. It's more of, I see the heavy basses and I kind of want to use those as more of kind of like a rhythmic guitar kind of role. So it's more of to make the song heavier than focusing just on the sound design.
Let me say this. It doesn't feel like dubstep. I'll say that.
Well,
It doesn't
I'll
feel
say
like
this
it.
much. It is most definitely Navron's distinct style, what I have come to recognize as your style.
Which I've come to genuinely enjoy.
I definitely think you have more of an industrial, more of a heavy sort of. I don't know the right way to put it, honestly.
Someone kind of described my music earlier, and it was pretty accurate. I've kind of rolled with this description, but it's kind of like if you went to go see an orchestral concert in a concert hall, but instead of strings and tubas and all the regular orchestral instruments, you have heavy basses and synth instruments. That's kind of what it's like.
Right.
It's like kind of like a movie or game soundtrack set to synthesizers.
That might be I think that's probably one of the better ways I've heard it described. I mean, I'd hope you'd be able to describe it in some form, considering you make it. But the new song, since we have not, established what it's called yet, is Hail to the Queen. And it's actually, now, is this based on a fan fiction, or is someone writing a fan fiction based on this idea? I can't remember what you said.
There's, it's kind of a loosely based concept. It's just more of the season 3 finale kind of solidified the concept for it, where, Twilight becomes a princess and everything like that. And I'm just like, all right, well, she becomes like an impressive dictator. And I just kind of rolled with that idea.
And you just kind of went from there.
Yeah, kind of like one of my favorite fan fictions is called The Eversleep, and that was pretty dark fan fiction where basically a all-out war erupts over Equestria, and there's a few key people that are in really high positions that just have, terrifying magic that basically kill everybody. So I was like, well,
Spoiler
kind of
alert, posthumorously.
So I kind of just basically took like more of like a Orwell's kind of future version of Equestria.
Yeah, it's, honestly, being one of the people who was very initially adverse to anything dark and MLP related, I have come to really value the darker side that this community brings to my Equestria universe.
That was actually a really good song, by the way.
Thanks.
You're talking about the Hail to the Queen?
No, well, that is, but her darker side.
Oh, I have not heard that one.
It's a really, really good song. If you haven't heard it, I'm very surprised.
I might have heard it. It's I've listened to so much Brony music, it's ridiculous.
Okay, for the people that don't know that are listening, we will provide a link in the bottom so that you can hear this awesomeness.
Okay, yes, I'll do that. I'll put both the link to Navron's new song and to her darker side. Is that what it's called, Michelle?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I will have links available for those in the YouTube description. So yeah, go click on those if you like Brony music. Definitely give them a listen. But anything else you want to talk about with your song there, Navy?
I just think I should shout out that part of the idea behind a more corrupted kind of Twilight character for the song was loosely inspired by Want It Need It by Stars in Autumn.
Want It Need It?
It's a good one.
It is. But I suppose with nothing really left to discuss on that note, we'll move on to something a bit more serious here. One of our members of the FOB, who many of you are probably familiar with, is Tweak. He has been a very loyal fanfiction review writer, as well as a very talented writer himself.
We love Tweak.
We do love Tweak. And he is quite an awesome person. He's actually starting, jump school very shortly. I think he begins tomorrow morning. So
he falls for April Fool's jokes pretty easily.
He does. He's a gullible person. He's done some interviews as well. He is a broadcast journalist for the Army. That is his official job, but the Army is deciding it's a good idea for him to jump out of planes now, which, I've done that. It's fun. But
isn't he a drill sergeant? He
does a lot of things, but he was a drill sergeant, but I think he's crossing over into more of a I'm not quite sure if he's air assault or what. He's doing something with jumping out of airplanes, which is
interesting.
Like I said, he's actually starting that training tomorrow morning, which is why he is not with us this time. He's going to bed very early because he has to be up at 0300 to start, to be ready for when his training begins at 0400, dark 30. And
sounds about the time that I get up every day.
Really? Your job makes you get up that early?
Well, I work freaking 13 hours a day, 14 hours a day.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Marines get worked a bit harder than the Air Force does every now and again. Well, not
once in a while.
Well, on deployments, okay, in all fairness, on deployments.
In between nap and tea time.
On deployments, Air Force guys work 16, 18-hour days too, so.
Oh, I'm going to justify my deployment hours with your non-deployment hours.
Yes. My logic is flawless. But, digressing a bit, getting back on subject here, Tweak had a somewhat disturbing encounter. So, to provide some backstory, he was at this little ma and pa hole-in-the-wall barbecue joint, getting some odd looks from these really hillbilly rednecks, like true hillbilly rednecks, like country bumpkin, marry your own sister is sort of rednecks.
I supported my sister's decision to get an abortion. Would have been nice to be a dad, though.
Well put. But, so these guys were giving him kind of an evil eye in the restaurant, but he paid it no mind. He kind of just said, screw it. I'm going to sit here and enjoy my barbecue and continue to eat on. Now, when he decided, when he got up, paid his check, and left the restaurant, he went out to his truck. Now, it was nighttime by this point. The sun had set, and it was dark, and between him and his truck were the same 3 country bumpkins. And they kind of made some vulgar remarks about him being gay and homosexual, and he wasn't quite sure what they were getting at until he noticed they were looking at his shirt, and it just so happened he was wearing his Applejack drink cider learn nothing shirt, and then everything kind of clicked for him, and he's like, oh, and he kind of just blew it off, said, I don't have time to deal with this, and tried to walk past them, and they shove him on his ass, pull out a knife. And, they say something along the lines of, how about I cut out your smart-ass tongue, something along that.
Cock-sucking.
Oh, yeah. I was trying not to be as vulgar, but yes, they were quite...
Vulgarities are necessary in this situation.
Okay.
Not really.
But, and...
Basically, they were calling him very, very homosexual.
Which, yeah.
Or gay.
Well, thank you.
Anyway, so these...
Super Josh reference.
Yes. But anyway...
Not gonna burst into flames.
Really now. Continuing on. Clearly these people intended him bodily harm. And so Tweak, being the person he is, happened to be carrying a... Packing, he does have a concealed carry, so he pulled out his, handgun, and he said, told them to back away, and clearly they did not expect such a thing.
Hint. They got the hint.
They got the hint and booked it in their truck, which unsurprisingly had a Confederate flag in the rear window. And
makes so much sense.
Yeah, it really does, doesn't it? But so Tweak almost got himself shanked and almost shot a guy because ponies. Apparently, some people are legitimately that intolerant of bronies. And that's kind of a little disheartening about the human race in general.
Well, there will always be haters. I mean, you can't really do much about it.
Well, there's internet haters, and then there's, really, KKK level haters.
Yeah.
And that's...
They always have existed, always will exist. You just have to try to avoid them whenever possible.
Yeah, and I guess... I don't know what the moral of the story here is, other than maybe...
Pecky.
Yeah.
Concealed carry will save you.
Other than have a means of defending yourself, personal defense is a great thing, no matter the circumstance, whether you're a brony or just a regular human being, walking out on the street. You never know when someone's going to come at you with a knife for whatever reason. So I guess having some sort of means of defending yourself, whether that be, some sort of martial arts, or you just carry a gun, which is a little more... Well, I don't know. I think it's easier to just carry a gun, honestly.
What was interesting to me is these guys either had to know what My Little Pony was or had to know what bronies were, or that shirt wouldn't have meant anything to them.
Right. And that's the confusing part for me.
Yeah. I mean, what was they reacting to? The shirt? I mean, if you don't know what MLP was, the shirt wouldn't have meant anything to anybody.
Yeah.
There's so many different T-shirts out nowadays that, what does it mean?
True. And you know what really just doesn't make sense to me is, we've all seen Tweak. When I say all of us, I'm referring to here in this podcast. Well, maybe with the exception of Navy Brony. But I'm pretty sure all of us have seen him in his interviews or seen him in person.
Yes.
He looks military. He has the haircut. He definitely looks like a military man. And how it did not occur to these guys, hey, there's an army base right here. He's got the army haircut. He looks army. Usually army guys carry, just saying, military members in general like their guns. I don't know what they were thinking. Well, if they were thinking at all, which might be a stretch in this case.
These are clearly rednecks with
Thinking's for
interwebs.
smart people.
Thinking's for smart people. Yeah, the rednecks, just be careful out there, bronies, I suppose.
Some of them are actually...
So my roommate's actually one of those intelligent rednecks.
By what do you find... How do you define him as being a redneck? What makes him classify as a redneck?
He does everything that a redneck does, except he's not an idiot.
Okay, so he's not a true blue redneck then, I suppose. If he's not an idiot.
Yeah, it's like on paper, he's actually smarter than I am.
Really?
It's like on the ASVAB, I got a 98 on the ASVAB. He got a 99.
Well, I don't put much faith in the ASVABs, honestly. See, the ASVABs, according to the ASVABs, I never should have been placed in the career field I'm in. But yet, here I am.
Here you are.
Very true. But...
Yeah, according to the ASVAB, I could have been working in the Navy in a nuclear submarine, but nope.
You're
I
in the
chose the
Marine Corps
band.
band. Hey, that's not a bad deal there.
Yeah, it's because I'm pretty much the only one who can do this job.
Really now?
Yeah, you couldn't do this job. I'm saying it right now. You could not do this job.
Well, I don't know that much about your job, so I'm not going to argue with you.
Don't you play, like, the flute?
Trombone. Very different.
It is very
It's a
different.
bigger flute.
Just...
Flute
Just
is a
as
woodwind
important.
instrument. Trombone is a brass. There is a big difference.
I beg to defer. Flute's metal.
Oh!
Uh,
Recorder is wooden.
Wow.
I'm just giving you crap. I'm actually a clarinet player.
Flutes are annoying.
I was
I'm
actually...
saying it right now. I hate the sound of the flute.
You know what's better
I can
than
appreciate
both
a
of those
flute.
instruments?
What?
Drums.
Well,
Everyone knows drummers are best musicians.
Mm.
Not that I'm a drummer or anything, but because drummers
And if you're
are
in
just
my
best.
band, you would not be saying that.
some pretty bad drummers
Doesn't
there.
matter.
No, it's not that they're bad. It's just we got superstars.
Oh, I think I know what that means. I'm pretty sure.
It's fabulous.
I don't think that's what he's getting at.
No, it's like have you guys ever watched the anime Hetalia?
I have not.
I have.
All right, basically the joke is that Hetalia, all the characters in Hetalia are based off countries and stereotypical personalities. And America, his personality is he is loud, obnoxious, and has the catchphrase "I'm the hero."
Sounds about right.
And
Yeah,
he
sounds like
always
America.
rushes into things without thinking, saying "I'm the hero," and that's basically our percussion. And so whenever they're loud and obnoxious, I just casually mouth to my friend, "I'm the hero."
Yeah. Yes. All the yes.
Yeah, and that also happens when we're practicing outside, and also C-130 flies over us. It makes a whole bunch of noise, and then our conductor, he just like he's just giving it the evil eye, and then I just whisper to the guy next to me, "I'm the hero."
C-130s. There's louder airplanes. C-130s aren't that loud.
Oh yeah, we also got Harriers that fly over us. It's very, very annoying.
Yeah, we have like a whole 4 planes in our entire freaking arsenal of aircraft.
I'm on a
and
wing.
they're all like 40 years old.
I
I am on a wing. We hear a lot of planes.
I hear C-130s daily because there are tons of C-130s at my base. It is...
We have like F-18s, Harriers, Ospreys, and C-130s. That's like all we have.
Isn't that everything the Navy uses?
I don't know. I think the Navy has a pretty much bigger air section wing than
Thing.
Yes.
Clearly. No,
Object.
I think we've clearly gotten off subject, and do I correctly interpret that as saying...
We had a subject?
We did have a subject. Tweak's
We
little
did.
encounter. Dude, I think we got off subject, but does that mean we have nothing more to discuss on that? I think we pretty much, I mean, it was one of those disheartening things to hear about, but I'm just glad he's okay.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Somewhat related, this boat dead deadly. For tomorrow, we're picking up a couple new guys from a different squadron to serve as our rescue swimmers for our plane guard operations.
Oh.
I can't wait to introduce ponies to 2 more people.
Yes.
Yes. Oh, speaking of bases and military bronies and potential military bronies, I did get a message on the forums today. Apparently there is a military brony who is on his way to Little Rock, and I will be more than happy to make him welcome. But I'm just glad to have another one joining our ranks.
Yeah.
Hey, the more bronies we can get localized, the better, in my opinion. I love hanging out with bronies. They're some of the funnest people I have ever hung out with, which is why...
Improper superlative.
What is
what?
fun?
What is fun? What is fun?
Fun. I've
Funner
never-
is not a word.
More fun?
That's more better.
Oh man, I have heard people botch that so much. I do it every now and again, but not as bad as some people I know. But
Anybody gets that reference, I love you. And so does Secretary Not Sure.
what?
Now I'm just confused.
Now and I am just
Anyone
confused.
who gets the reference, I love you.
Uh,
Moving on.
listening.
Moving on. Well, I mean, I don't really have much else to talk about. I mean, there is the FOB fanfic in the works, but I don't know if we really want to tease that at all. I mean, that's still
Yeah.
so much a
I
work in
mean,
progress.
We
don't really have much to say about it.
teasing about something, let's not tease about it. That makes sense.
Hey, don't undermine my subtle trolling.
What?
I say
That's not subtle at all. That's like jumping out of a building screaming, "We're working on something awesome!" But I can't tell you about it. Oh, it's this!
well, I was trying to act aloof in the situation, and then you had to point out the flaw in my logic, which was
inventing words to try to word
aloof.
your way around this?
Aloof is a word. Aloof is totally a
Aloof
word.
is too a word.
Michelle, you need to expand your vocabulary there, my friend.
I have a very expansive vocabulary. I also am dyslexic. Alone.
I can talk gooder.
Then you.
I
Indeed.
am good grammar and spelling.
It's
Grammar.
spelling.
Grammar is not my strong suit. I will concede that point. I think anyone
So
who's
your
ever
suits have varying degrees of strength.
Michelle, I'm gonna punch you next time I see you in person.
I still love you.
I still love you too. But yeah, anyone who's written any sort of long-term project knows how much of a nightmare grammar is. Anyone, yeah. Anyway,
I'll just throw out there real quick, anybody who's writing stuff, please keep out of the passive voice. Thank you. This is a Silvermane editorial.
yes, Silvermane is actually going to be my editor for the future. He has
What?
agreed.
No, I take your lieutenants. You do not take my lieutenants.
No, I'm not taking him in an official
This
capacity.
is a one-way street, my friend.
Spangle, you better hope it's in Courier New Font size 10.
Who uses New Courier? And font size 10, really? 12 is the standard, come on.
All Navy correspondence.
Really?
Courier New size 10 font.
Well, I don't know what... It's been so long since I've looked in the tongue and quill for the Air Force, I have no idea what the Air Force
Size 10
requires.
Calibri, I hate that font.
Is that what the Air Force requires?
No, we use tongue and quill. I use 12 point Times New Roman.
Yeah, that's what I use. Okay, I thought I was right. Thank you for validating me, Silvermane. But yeah,
We can't even standardize our fonts.
no, we can't.
I think-
The military is horribly unorganized when it comes to between branches, let alone in between individual services. I mean, the Air Force can't even get things straight between its own stupid squadrons.
Because it's spending so much time on naps and tea time daily.
I don't take naps or have tea
So I'm
time.
guessing you take extended tea time.
I don't have tea time. My job is out on the flight line where more often than not I work through lunch because I don't get a lunch because we needed to get that prop on that plane like yesterday.
Service before self, isn't that right, Spangle?
Yeah, that's about right. That's the life of a maintainer. Maintainers have it a bit rougher than most other jobs in the Air Force.
They do. I feel sorry for them. I mean, we have some at our unit, and they work their butt off sometimes.
But honestly, I enjoy life as a maintainer more or less because I really don't like sitting on my butt. I like getting my hands dirty. I like being out there and actually doing something. So, well, ask me how I like it in a couple years, and my answer might change. But right now, I enjoy it.
And as Derek crewman, I'm like your mortal enemy.
Yeah, you kind of are. You guys are always breaking my stuff.
I hate when I get a 10-hour workday. It's rough.
Is it?
Nah, it's like, on average, we'll usually work about 9 to 10 hours. But then, if I'm ever having a crappy day, I just look at the fact that our maintainers are usually working 12, 13, sometimes even 14-hour work days. And it definitely makes me appreciate their work more.
Well, maintainers, yeah, right now, actually, the Air Force is cutting back so much on flying time.
Oh my God.
You know what the worst MOS in the military is?
11 Bravo.
No, Motor T, because all they do is run over our fiber.
Oh God.
Hey, we have an entire site that lost network connectivity. We think it might be the fiber. Can you run down that 8 miles that we just ran and see if somebody cut it?
No problem.
Oh gosh, that sounds horrible.
No, here's the freaking the stories that we get. You know, Iron Man took out one of our fiber lines. Iron Man.
Iron Man.
Iron Man.
Iron Man took out one of our fiber lines.
Really?
It was a while ago, before I got here. But when they were filming the first Iron Man movie, apparently one of their special effects explosions that they had done had actually broken one of the fiber lines and like completely isolated like half of the East Coast.
Wow. That's impressive. That is a story. That is quite the story.
Oh yeah. No, let's see. We had a farmer was burying his dead cow and his shovel cut a fiber line.
See, that's more believable than Iron Man.
We had somebody shoot it with a shotgun.
Okay.
Broke
Not sure how that
line.
happens.
We had, this is the best one. This is the best one. There was a bum in a sewer who made a fire inside of a trash can barrel. And the fire got too big. And it set fire to that portion of the sewer. And apparently that fire had actually spread into a section of the sewer where we were running our fiber, and it broke the fiber. So a bum set fire to our freaking fiber lines.
So a bum compromised network integrity on a military installation.
No, not on a military installation, but yes.
Oh, okay. Still.
Yes. Fun times.
Fun times. Okay. Well, like I said earlier, there's not really much else I have to discuss here. I mean, you guys want to bring up anything? I mean, otherwise we can just wrap this up.
No.
Yeah, actually, I want to say something.
Okay.
Because I'm just going to throw this out here, because why the hell not?
Sure.
I want all of you peeps that are listening to this, and Spangle, because I love you, and Josh, because I don't love you, but I love you anyway, that I am willing to throw my marvelous, fantastical acting voice to Interlude Productions for their next quality animation, just to see how amazing I can make it.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Indubitably.
Indubitably.
I like it's very nice.
This
quite.
is my pretentious voice.
Be jealous. But
Be
on
jealous.
that
I am
side-
making love to my own voice.
But on a side note, I am going to re-update the script to my... Yes, shameless self-promotion. I'm going to re-update... Yes, re-update, that makes sense. Re-update. Redundancy! I'm going to update the script to my original Dragon Ball Z crossover abridged
Thing.
skit. And
Hey,
I
Vegeta.
have... Hey, Vegeta! What does the scouter say about his power level?
It's
Yeah.
1006.
What? 1,006. Yes, Vegeta, go kick his ass.
It's over 9,000.
I said Vegeta. Wow, that fail. I need a script or I can't
Yeah.
voice words without words.
I can't
I
speak
actually had
words.
one of the biggest complaints I had with it was the lack of quality of the sound. So I actually went out and bought a mic and a proper pop filter, and hopefully it'll come out a lot better. I'm going to put a lot more work into it, so stand by for that. And
This is a pony version of. Is pony version?
There will be ponies.
Okay.
There
All right.
will also be other characters.
I guess we can shamelessly self-promote this when you're done with it on the site.
I love you too. Yeah, that should be hopefully within like the next week.
Oh,
Look out for that.
okay. Hopefully within the next week. I mean, if not, we can talk about in the next podcast how you failed.
Yeah, why not? We can do that. It'll be an epic topic conversation.
You saying there will be ponies, that kind of just shot an idea. Has anyone ponified the milkshake scene from the end of There Will Be Blood?
I'm not even
Probably.
familiar with that scene.
Nor am I.
Alright, I'll wait till after the podcast. I'll fill you guys in.
Oh, okay. Okay, then. Well, if no one has anything else to discuss, silence is golden and duct tape is silver, and ponies are rainbow colored. Okay, so as per usual, we are still looking for a head of music. I'm going to keep this one short. If you know anyone, or if you might be someone who is willing to fill in that head of music position, and you have military background, either currently serving or have served, just shoot us an application to our email, fobequestria@gmail.com, and
And you also must be fluffy.
Very fluffy.
I suppose you have to be fluffy as well.
It's so fluffy!
It's so fluffy, I'm gonna die!
You also need to
one
be able to
hairy
state who is
dude.
best pony correctly.
I don't know if there
And
is a
the
consistent
is
answer
not
on that.
Scootaloo, you are wrong.
No, if the answer is not Luna, you are wrong. Wait, we are not going down this road. We are not going down this road right now.
Oh, this road has already been down.
But when you said fluffy, you just reminded me of... And again.
Wow, you have those very well timed.
He does.
All hail bookmarks.
Indeed. But when you said fluffy, that just reminded me of Flufflepuff Tales.
Oh, I love those.
Seriously, if you guys have not
Nice,
seen
Leo.
Flufflepuff Tales,
Thank you.
if you have not seen that, clearly it seems like everyone here has seen that. But if you have not seen that and you're listening to this, I recommend you go check those out because they are very comedic.
Who, Lilo and Stitch?
Huh? No, Flufflepuff Tales.
Never heard of it.
Really? Well, I'm gonna have to
I just
introduce you
saw
to
him,
this
like, a
after the
couple weeks
podcast.
ago for the first time.
Just
And-
the other day, I think is one of the best ones.
It's like just such a great minimalistic approach to comedy.
Oh, I know. It's brilliant. The person who does them is, it's like you said, it's a minimalistic approach, but it's done very well. So, I'm going to have to introduce Michelle to this after the podcast now. So,
Yes.
fun will be had. Ponies will be had. But clearly we have nothing, I don't think we have anything planned for next week, but we will be here next week talking about, whatever happens to come up during the week. If you have something you want us to talk about, just send us an email at fobequestria@gmail.com. The same email that, you should send everything to us at, with the subject line podcast. And, chances are pretty good we'll talk about it as long as it's something relevant. If you send us something just as a joke, clearly we won't talk about it. Or maybe
We will love you anyway.
we will love
And
you
Spangle
anyway.
will come find you.
And hug you.
No, finding people is not my job. That is
With
Navy's
knives.
job. Navron over there is I don't even know how to term it. He's just like a ghost and an assassin all in one.
Hugging with knives is better.
Seriously though, Navron, you're kind of scary sometimes. I'm just putting that out there. Trust me, be careful if you ever have a bone to pick with Navy Brony, because chances are pretty good he will find out everything about you there is to know. I don't know how he does it, but he does.
Mystical government powers.
Magic.
Yep. Yep.
He is a ninja of the internet, And if you have ever put any information on yourself on the internet about anything, chances are he will come across it through his magical ninja powers of whatever. I don't even know. But
Phenomenal
It's called
cosmic
4chan.
powers.
quite.
4chan knows all.
Is 4chan one of your sources, Navy? Or would that be
He
revealing your
cannot
secrets?
confirm nor deny the possibility of this statement.
Just like we deny the existence of any weapons in space, but I don't really know if that's
No
true.
comment.
Speaking of
We-
weapons, we got new laser cannon on our boats. What do you guys got?
Oh, I think I heard about that.
Yeah, it was in military.com and Air Force
has
News.
laser cannons on their planes.
Yeah, actually that is a thing.
Lasers everywhere.
Yeah, I remember now. I did read about that. They actually like shot down a drone with a laser, like
Yep.
it burst into flames.
Pretty much.
So laser weaponry is a thing now. So Star Wars is happening.
You just can't see it.
It's
all
already
IR.
happening.
Yeah, it's IR. See, that makes it even more deadly because you don't even realize you're getting shot at by a laser. You can't even see where the laser is coming from unless you have IR imaging. So you don't
Just
even
all of a
know.
sudden you're like, I'm burning.
All of a sudden you're like, oh, I'm on fire. When did this happen?
Oh, I disintegrated.
Spontaneous human combustion is now a thing. Although it's not so spontaneous, it just looks that way. In reality, the government's lighting people on fire, but you know.
So, what
Anyway.
if they've had this technology for the past 100 years?
I don't buy that.
All those times we thought it was spontaneous.
I don't buy it. You're talking
Not a
conspiracies and crazy.
Obviously true. It happened. Event confirmed.
Oh gosh.
We can end this on a positive note.
Wait.
I have now debunked one of the greatest mysteries of our time.
Well, now that we
Spontaneous
went
human
completely off the rails,
We have gone completely off the rails.
We had rails. I thought we were just kind of like a runaway train. Kind
well,
of
they
thing.
were more theoretical rails, but whatever they were, we're off of them now.
Were we on a metaphorical highway
We were
into a
yes.
zone full of danger? A zone that could be called. I'm not even gonna go
Oh,
there.
that was awful. Yeah.
I'm just gonna stop.
Yeah.
Waiting for
Okay.
you. I had it queued up and ready to play.
Actually, I was actually surprised when you didn't play it as soon, but I guess you were in the works of it. Weren't we supposed to be wrapping this up? Yeah, I think that's what we
something
were
like
doing.
that.
Something.
Like 20 like hours ago.
Yeah, we were in the process of wrapping this up. Now, any final comments before we all say our goodbyes?
Scootaloo is best pony.
Fluttershy's best pony.
I don't know who Best Pony is because I have a few at the top of my list.
Well, of course
Close
you can't
battles.
know because you don't know because it's Scootaloo.
Honestly, in my book, it's a close battle between DJ Bone 3 or Vinyl Scratch
Your book is incorrect.
and Luna, my Princess of the Night. Okay, I take it back. It's Luna, but Vinyl's a close second. But anyway,
Haha, success.
success. Success. I guess we say our goodbyes.
I suppose.
Hey, what I wanna be,
Anyone else want to say goodbye?
It's the Silvermane saying, "Stay frosty and fly under the radar."
This is Commander Firebrand saying, Semper Filim, Bronies.
This is Navy Brody. Don't do drugs.
Because drugs are
As
bad.
always- and as always, hugs. Michelle.
Hugs.
This has been Spangle and the FOB staff. Catch us next week. Semper Philly.